first team out of the change rooms, doing a little warm-up at half-time just to get back into the game. The Swifts actually came out just before they were ready to go onto the court. So Magic were up and about early. Just watching Kim Green, though, she, I think, has smoke coming out of her ears. Just watch for the contest and watch for her to put her body on the line in this quarter.
Well, they really need a good start. They need to try and get a few goals back. And there's Tyree just threw an impossible pass, and that was never going to go anywhere apart from turnover territory. And that is not what they needed to do. Langman's got it now. And Dyke scored 25 from 25 in the first half. Got the turnover back.
Yeah, I think it was an offside call. And I just want to point this out to you. Look at the penalty stats from quarter to quarter. First quarter, the Magic defensive line were up at the end of the New Zealand umpire, gave away 20 penalties. Last quarter, it was the Swifts' turn to give away 26 penalties. I don't understand, Luke, how you can go from one quarter giving away 9 penalties to giving away 26, and for Magic going from 20 to 9. So I think 26 penalties in a quarter is verging on ridiculous.
You've often explained to me about the difference between the New Zealand umpiring, and this is the end where the New Zealand umpire is. So we've heard 3 times the whistle at this end. Pratley's shot misses. She puts up her hand, but unfortunately that just will not be good enough. If they are to get back into this contest, we'll get to Ali Broadbent. What were the messages that you heard at half-time, Ali?
Yeah, look, both teams stayed indoors for their half-time speeches, and one thing I took from Nolene, the Magic coach's talk before half-time, was the fact that last time they played the Swifts, they played like individuals, and today they're playing like a team, and I really believe that. I think Jade Clark's come into the team and is a settler for the girls in defence. They're playing a really strong defensive game, and they've done their homework, and they're doing a really nice job at it at the moment.
Langman's long ball in to Brown. And it is deja vu here again. We're seeing a lot of what we saw last week in the major semi-final. The Swifts have started 2 games, $1.20 favourite with sportsbet.com.au. Their opponents have been over $4. Thunderbirds got home. They actually smashed the Swifts last week, and now we're at to 11-goal lead. And it's looking along the same lines, Liz. Yeah,
looking ominous. The Swifts, though, still trying to claw their way back in, and they are up at the scoring end. And it's probably worth pointing out that as much as 26 penalties in a quarter is reasonably ridiculous, both teams' defensive lines are getting it. It is simply the Magic who are doing it better at the moment. They're adjusting better. They're making the most of it. They had a 17-goal run in that last quarter, so they certainly made the most of their opportunities. The Swifts are not doing that at the moment.
Penalty goes the way here. Kim Green will take it of the New South Wales Swifts. We're underestimating Vanessa Ware, who did a knee in round 12, and since then they've been trying to fill the gap with Tyree, and also Durham started today. Has that been a massive factor in their form so far in the finals?
Yeah, look, I think so, and I think when Vanessa Ware hurt herself, the Swifts were travelling along quite nicely. So they were able to blood in Courtney Tyree and have a look at Christy Durham and also Ashley Brazel in that mid-court area. But under pressure, you want your seasoned campaigners, and Vanessa Ware is one of those. And she's sitting in the crowd today, and this will be hurting her, just watching her team really struggle. And where they are struggling is in that transition from the mid-court through to that front line.
Now an errant pass from the Magic. Here's Smith. This is Tyree, collects it.
Here we're just seeing the Swifts just get caught up at that transverse line. Almost looks like when you just watch their setup, everyone either sets up deep and comes forward at the same time, so the options are parallel, or the players are almost waiting for someone in front of them to make the move. And I guess it's just a matter of making sure you're offsetting your setup and there's someone who dictates the move and then everyone else reads off them. That's what the Magic are doing at the moment.
Now Green works hard on the edge of the circle. See the pressure there that Williams puts on the shot. And Catherine Cox has been a superstar of the game, and she had an incredible year. And you know that she's just going to keep shooting. Swifts now have 3 in a row. They're back to an 8-goal margin.
Things getting a little heated down in that Magic shooting circle. Van Dyke clapping the penalty call that she got. There was a fair bit of push and shove between her and McCloma. Van Dyke winning that battle.
It's interesting because the Australian umpire is there about half a foot away from Kim Smith, looking exactly at the same call. She chose to ignore that footwork call. The New Zealand umpire way down the other end of the court, and she's decided that she'll interject. So and it's costly. Can't afford turnovers here, the Swifts, at all.
They can't afford them, but this is the end that they can start to get turnovers. Just interesting to note, I thought last week the Swifts defensive line wasn't too bad in a losing game as they just come away with the penalty. Francis Talia giving away that offensive penalty. This week, though, they've really struggled to create opportunities defensively. Just the one intercept for the Swifts, and that was Christy Durham who got it. So she's not on the court at the moment. So McClymer and Bully and Smith just need to step up and start getting their hands on the ball if they're going to create opportunities for their team.
Bradley and Cox starting in confident fashion in the third term. Just get the feeling they can't make up the whole 8 goals in 5 or 10 minutes. They just need to peg a few of them back. They went into three-quarter time with a 3 or 4 goal deficit. With a hometown crowd, you give them an enormous chance in this game.
Absolutely, and if they can start to peg it back to a 4 or even a 5 goal deficit by three-quarter time, it just means they've started to string a few good plays together, which is just enough to give a team confidence, and that's what it looks like at the moment. They're lacking a bit of cohesion, and that affects their confidence.
Speaking of confidence, their shooters are just starting to grow in that department enormously, so they're just still hovering around the 8-goal mark. Clark looked long there, thought about just releasing it to Van Dyke and then decided against it. Better defensive setup there. They tried to force it through. This is what they have to convert, though. They can't throw this pass away.
It's just about maintaining their patience. Magic are doing a brilliant job in just holding up their flow, and sometimes when you get a turnover, you want to get it down really quickly to the front line. Swifts have just got to weather the Magic defensive storm.
A little bit going on off the ball here. Green just collected Clark. Saw Irene getting irate at the other end.
I guess when things are starting to get heated, Luke, you want the ball in that lady's hands. You want Cox to have the ball. She's such a calm competitor. She'll be telling her teammates just to take it easy, work it back one at a time.
She's tried the fancy pass there, Cox. She's been shooting superbly. 16 from 20.
Yeah, Jodie Todd doing everything right then, just set up at 3 feet. Just maintained eyes for the ball, didn't get fooled by the body movement of Cox.
Reversal there, big call. Listen to the crowd. They love it. Salea got a little angry and raised the arm. And that was the Australian umpire on that occasion who decided, well, I'm going to reverse the call. So big chance here.
It's a massive turning point in this game. You just get the feeling that the Swifts are starting to get their tails up. Sort of thought at half-time that Magic had started to dominate, were doing everything right, had smiles on their faces. The Swifts just starting to come into it now, and getting a call like that sometimes makes you feel, right, we're in this game, we're coming back.
3 quick penalties applied at this end of the court. Cox just turns around and she gets going like that, Liz. She doesn't miss. There's the big turning point call. We're back to 6 goals, and the Magic have decided time for a little breather. And the body language shift now. The Swifts look up and about. Julie Fitzgerald on the court saying, we are right back in this.
Absolutely. And, you know, I talked about the body language for the Magic when they came out at half-time. They were on their toes. They were ready to play. The Swifts look like that now. It looks like it's just taken them a long time to get into the game to be able to do that. Here's one of the most interesting clashes we've got on court. Now, just look at that goal assist stat. That's something that Kimberly Green has really excelled in this year and has been so good and really dominated the competition. Lauren Langman is a defensive style of centre. Is great for picking up tips and really putting the pressure on defensively. We don't really know her as a feeder, but today that is where she's dominating her opponent, Kim Green. So interesting to see that little swing in the balance of power in that mid-court area.
Clymer very vocal here at the injury timeout, really getting excited. The margin was 9 goals at half-time. We've had 3 taken off it in the first 7 minutes of the third term. So a break in play